Technology is a word that describes something that doesn't work yet, and that was written by Douglas Adams, who wrote some very funny books about technology and some science fiction books. And I think, obviously it works quite well, but there is some element that doesn't. And the second quote is from Charles H. Duell, who was the commissioner of the U.S. Patent Office. And he said in 1889, everything that can be invented has been invented. So obviously he was wrong. And I think the reality about technology right now is there's an enormous amount of innovation taking place in the paytech and the fintech space, and and also in the marketing space. So I'd like to get Byron's take on this at first. Can we start with you? And basically, technology can be a blessing and a curse. If you get the tech right, you've got a golden goose. If you get the tech wrong, you're the roasted goose. So can you kind of explain how AYM and Danube Online is utilizing technology right now during these COVID times?
I think it actually goes back to a pretty cognitive decision when we launched. We knew we were relying on technology. Obviously, we're a mobile app talking to customers, but we wanted to try and centralize as much of the data that we could, because we knew we'd be capturing an incredible amount of customer data as well, and behavioral stuff and everything along the way. So our marketing technology stack was very much purpose built in that way. So we basically capture all of the customer events in a centralized place, and then stream that data to any tool or platform or something we built to then leverage it for whatever end goal it has. So on the marketing front, we were obviously basically capturing every activity that happens on the mobile app and our website, and that's funneled through to our communication tools, where we're engaging with our customers on all of our channels you'd expect, through push notification or SMS or email or in-app notifications and things. And I'd like to think we're doing relatively well at the personalized piece, and also the sort of triggered component of when and what we're showing to people. During COVID times specifically, that's obviously just, I think, been most helpful in how quickly we've had to change and adapt and move. So that's probably enabled that more than we'd probably have recognized. That's been a great help. And then, as I've said a few times before, we're only really as good as our delivery and logistics arm, honestly, because you can shop all you like, but if you don't get your groceries, you're not going to be very pleased. So what we've also done cognitively in the beginning was to build our own back office suite of applications, actually, that manage our picking and packing and driving services in the background. So and again, thinking of that data coming into that centralized kind of view, that's also streamed into our marketing communication tools, so that we can customers throughout the journey, not just during shopping or trying to drive behavior on the app. We're also then in real time, and because it's our own service, it's our own fleet of vehicles, everything is as much as possible our own, so we can communicate through that whole journey as well. We can alert customers at the right time, and we know that we've got full control of that. So if there are delays, if there are issues, these are communicated as soon as you might know. And we can start conversations that way as well through our customer service arm. So again, not planned for COVID, but became very, very central and very, very useful at this time.
Sahar, can you detail Marina Home's communication strategy, which might be less on tech and more on the personal?
For us, focusing on the customer experience is going to really be the winning strategy in times of recession or economic dips. More importantly, as we get ready to gear ourselves to better reach the millennial homeowners, who will be the largest and most influential generation of consumers ever, our brand's future really depends on being relevant and attracting ourselves to this very large group of tech-savvy and highly independent shopper. Really understanding what motivates them and being responsive to that new environment. So yeah.
Candice, can you discuss what you're doing at Marriott International in terms of latest tech strategies?
We've probably been one that have been amongst the early adopters of technology in every possible manner when it comes to actual guest experience. And with COVID, we've tried to look at ways of how we can fasten the process. I'd say in an increasingly globalized and connected world, we know that the modern traveler is no doubt returning, but is returning to that scarcity and authenticity as true indicators of hospitality. But one that will continue to make the difference is customization and service. And Maria spoke about hyper-personalization, or as we say, uber-personalization. We'll continue to see that. And for that, one of the tools that works really well for us is our loyalty program. I think we are in quite an enviable position with our 140 million base of members globally, which allows us to have that finger on the pulse of what's happening globally. And absolutely, data is at the center of all that we do in terms of driving, whether it's new experiences, whether it's different ways of connecting with guests, or even the ways that we welcome guests back in our hotel. As part of this technology, and no surprise, like the others, it's not that COVID has fastened the process, but we've started to do many different ways of embracing technology. Like, for example, now it's maybe 5 or 6 years ago, we launched something called MLive. MLive, the entire premise of it was to data mine. It started off as a tool as surprise and delight. We have command centers around 5 destinations in the world, where it primarily looked at guest travel based on geotagging or sort of sharing where they were going to, and us surprising and delighting them. However, that's now being used to actually see trends and where we want to go, whether it comes to a certain destination or a certain experience within our hotel. And then, yes, I spoke about other ways of using technology through our loyalty program, whether it comes to keyless entry or even simple things like Wi-Fi, which is now table stakes.
It's been a great discussion, so no problem there. But I'm going to combine the last 2 questions with redefining customer engagement and incentivizing loyalty. And obviously, loyalty is extremely important. Can you give us a quick update on what you guys are doing in terms of the loyalty side of things and also on the customer engagement side of things?
And going back to what I mentioned in terms of data mining and sort of seeing how we can reach a larger base faster. We have a couple of co-branded cards, and one that I could speak about is Emirates NBD. We do a lot of work with Emirates NBD in the region through the card, and as part of that, sort of again keeping the loyalty program top of mind, enabling our guests to continue to collect those points. There are many who feel the need or feel the disconnect in terms of no travel, and partners like that help us continue to drive conversations. One other element that we continue to do through loyalty is the heightened wellness essentials across our brand. I think with COVID, people have become a lot more conscious in terms of while yes, health and safety is front focus in terms of our what I spoke about, the new age of cleanliness. We're also seeing that the need to have these vacations and these almost sometimes even virtual vacations. So again, our loyalty program has enabled us to look at how we can engage with our guests and continue to keep personalization or the power of one in terms of how we can engage with them.
Kalika, can I turn to you on this one? Engaging and also loyalty.
So in that space, we recently launched the Visa Secure program, which provides rules and policies for merchants as well as issuing banks to follow in order to authenticate e-commerce transactions. And this has significantly enhanced the e-commerce fraud detection capabilities for both sides, and as well as reduced friction for cardholders at checkout. So it's not a customer experience at the expense of security. For us, the philosophy is that both of these need to be balanced, and that's really what we call responsible innovation. So that's really the brief answer on that. And in addition, I'll just add another point here about the fact that our clients, like I said, both issuers and merchants, can also benefit from a suite of other security capabilities. And these are very often provided either at no extra cost, or it's available as part of the relationship, or a sign up as a part of one of our programs. So we can give more details if required. Moving specifically to the area of loyalty, is where I'd like to focus with a few more examples, Andrew. Because predominantly as a B2B business, part of the role we play for our key partners is to source and serve the most relevant benefits as well as seasonal marketing in order to drive consumer loyalty in the mid to long term. Now, as we all know that things have changed, some temporarily and some for good. So as consumers begin to adapt to this new normal that we're discussing, some of these benefits and promotional offers will also need to adapt to the new reality. We've already done that to some extent during this situation and will continue to do so as our clients and us move into whatever the new normal looks like, so that we can continue to source what resonates with cardholders and offer rewarding and enriching personal experiences with partners such as Vox and other partners who are also on this panel and outside. A couple of examples I'd like to share. The first one is with our partner noon.com, a very strong partnership there where specifically one of the programs we ran during COVID was when they shifted their platform to accepting only cashless payments amidst the lockdown. And for a limited period of time, they went completely cashless. And even now, there is a part of their service which is completely cashless. This was an important move at that point in time in line with what customers needed, as well as the kind of security and safety they wanted to provide to their staff, which is understandable. So Visa partnered very strongly and we supported them in this initiative. Other than that, there are areas where the way that we consume entertainment has changed. There's a lot more being consumed from home. And we've partnered with partners such as Stars Play to incentivize first-time subscribers. Another example is Nana, which is an online grocery store in Saudi. And as Byron was mentioning about the environment in Saudi, that there was a lot of support, not only for just the shopping online, but also for supporting and securing the safety of the community. So this was a unique kind of offer that we did, where we partnered not only to reward your online purchase, but also to match the purchase by gifting a meal to a health worker. It had unprecedented take-up and we had to extend this offer. So in a nutshell, we try and bring what is most relevant to consumers using our insights and other market knowledge, and also deliver it in the most authentic way while being true to our own brand as well as our retailer's brand.
I think, at a high level, we rely very heavily on the existing brand that Danube has been for many years in the kingdom. So that's brought a certain amount of trust, that we've been able to leverage and then grow from and prove that to customers online. So to make the journey from traditionally shopping in stores and buying groceries in the shop to buying them online, we have the power of that brand behind us. So we've actually done a lot of work to try and build out that kind of omni-channel approach. So looking at things like geofencing particular stores and that, and then communicating with people via the app about things that are happening in store, for example, would be a good view there. So you could when you're near one of the shops, you could be communicating about stores, offers in the store, or on the other hand, also to shop on the app and just collect in the store since you're nearby already. So we've done some quite interesting things there that I think is a good level of engagement with customers across both channels, online and offline. And then further that, we launched a referral program some time ago, which has been a great way to actually acquire new customers when it's coming from a trusted friend or whoever's telling you about this brand. So basically incentivizing someone to invite a friend to make their purchase online and then get rewarded. So that actually went incredibly well, and will now develop into a more sort of robust loyalty program that we're going to be launching soon.
Last question for Sahar. I know you had an interesting B2B loyalty program over at Marina Home as well. Can you delve into that? And also you can touch on the other question if you'd like to.
Yes, so on the elements of redefining customer engagement and talking about loyalty in general, something I did want to share was, as a business, what we've largely observed in this recent time is that although the global crisis may have changed the way consumers can behave, ultimately they still want and need to shop and be entertained. So although we see the start of what's going to become an e-tail first market, where consumers are going to be shopping online and delivering information and expecting experiences and inspirations to be delivered digitally, we are looking to redefine customer engagement to the level of which our consumers could even expect to participate in product development, where we operate with transparency, where we operate with integrity, and we look to engage the consumer to the core levels of what their demands are in their homes. So in terms of building, we really believe as an organization that the way we're going to deal with customers in these difficult times is going to ultimately leave lasting memories in their minds of our brand. So when we look at how we want to shape what loyalty is going to mean for the new millennial homeowner, we want to make sure that we deliver not only to their demands, but we focus on how we can care for them and how we can innovate through the times of crisis and anticipate how they're going to change their habits, and focus on building stronger relationships. Similarly, in the B2B space, just a couple of years ago, we launched a very special project called Inner Square. It's for the industry's leading designers and architects, where we launched something called the first members-only design privilege program, and through which they can benefit with professional perks like direct commissions, access to in-store reveals, new products, and to really keep them up to date with how we can say empowering a deeper relationship with the designers in the region to extend naturally and organically our business lines into all the different homes across the region. So they are a natural extension of what we do as a business. And so really forging those relationships with architects and interior designers is also helping create a new channel of loyalty for us in addition to the consumer base.